All right, good morning. I'm Juanita and welcome back to the Knit Guru. Now today we are heading off on a bit of a trip because well before I got my concussion, I signed up for a knit-a-thon. And the reason why I signed up for this knit-a-thon is like multifold. First of all, the knit-a-thon is for the Featherston Community Centre. Now, the Featherston Community Centre, I've been involved in a lot of things from there throughout my days. I was in a ukulele orchestra, that was our rehearsal spot. I was in a women's fitness group where we did walks. That was quite exciting. I did, it was an art quilting something. I've done a lot of things in the creative spaces there at the community centre. The community centre was also used as our COVID vaccination spot back when, they first brought out the vaccines and they were available to everybody. We all went to the community centre. So it's an amazing facility. It runs a whole stack of programs. Most of them are free of charge or koha, what you can afford. It's a cool space. So that's the first thing. It's a fundraiser for that, so worth doing. The second thing is that there's a group of people in Featherston who knit for people in the community. So every baby gets given a bunch of stuff, like your hats and your blankets and stuff like that, knitted by members of the community. Every 5-year-old gets a jumper. So, that's kind of amazing when you think about a town that they're willing to do that. It's incredible. There's another woman in Featherston who knits little character dolls, and so every time you go to the dentist as a child, you're given one of these character dolls, or you go to the doctor and you get a vaccination, you get a character doll, and they're all freely given by this gorgeous woman who used to be a teacher. Now, the third reason why I'm doing this is that it's being run by an ex-student of mine, ex-student by such a long time. We're talking maybe 15 years or so when I last taught her. I taught her how to knit back when we had, we called it the Gentleman's Knitting Society, and we watched Doctor Who and we knit during lunch breaks when we didn't have rehearsals. And it was kind of one of those wonderful things. One of the members brought in blankets that had been knit by his elderly grandmother, and they were used to cover the couches in the room. Like, it was just, knitting was a thing. So that's where we're going to. We are going to the Featherston Community Centre to a knit-a-thon. I don't know what we're making. I did sign up for the kit. I've got a whole stack of knitting needles and some scrap yarn and some baby yarn and that sort of thing. I'm going to call in and get some snacks. I'm going to fill my car with gas, and then we're going to knit. Hopefully I can knit for the full 5 hours. I'm not hopeful. I feel like the last couple of days have been rough, and if I feel things starting to go wobbly, I am going to have to tap out, because it's about a 20-minute drive to the community centre. I could go to the yarn shop in Greytown and knit there, but I at least want to start in the community centre. The yarn shop in Greytown, Joy of Yarn, is hosting like a satellite branch of the knit-a-thon, so I could leave the community centre and then go into James's shop and knit there, and that's only like a 10-minute drive away. So we'll see how we go, and we'll see how long we can go, and we'll see what I can knit in the meantime. And I don't know what the project is that we're supposed to be working on. There's meant to be yarn and a pattern supplied, so that's interesting in itself. I'm just hopeful that I can have a good time and meet some new people and hang out doing some yarn things and eat some snacks. Right, let's go and get some snacks. I don't know how much I'm going to get filmed because I don't know what everyone's going to be like, but at the very least I'll try and get some shots of what I'm working on, and then we'll tap in at the end. All right, I'll see you soon. All right, so it's actually the next day now after the knit-a-thon, because I overdid it, didn't I? Of course I overdid it. I know that for the last few days I've been feeling really ill by about 2 o'clock, like woozy, almost like I'm feeling drunk, and that if I don't go from vertical to horizontal and at least sleep for 20 minutes, I'm just done for, you know. So I overdid it. I did stay from 10 until almost 2, and then I thought, no, I'm going to stop then. And then I got a call from my sister. So that's where probably I ended up overdoing it. What did I end up taking with me in my Bailey J bag? I took with me every size I could of my Knit Pro Zing needles. So that's, I took the, have I taken them all out of the bag by now? Yes, I have, because I've moved on to other projects. I didn't end up using them all. I did mainly end up using this one, which was a pre-set up circular jobby. This is the 4.5mm needle with the that length cable. I want to say 40 centimeter cable, 60 centimeters overall, who knows. Either way, the purple one, but it doesn't help because I think the purple one's an old one. I think this is the color that's now lime green, because the pattern we were given is from Wool on Wheels. And have I managed to lose it is the next question. It's quite possible that I've managed to lose my pattern. However, the pattern from Wool on Wheels, she was one of the sponsors, so she donated some prizes and she donated her pattern. So everybody who signed up got a copy of the pattern. It was a Katia beanie, and it used exactly 50 grams of wool. I say exactly. I think I had about yay much wool left over. That one of the other ladies who was using a knitting machine to make pumpkins for an upcoming school disco thing, she took the purple scraps to make a twirly bit of the pumpkin, which I thought was cute. So what we got in our pack was 2 balls of Red Hut wool. They were randomized, and then a packet of stitch markers with a tag and a plastic needle and a block of tiny post-it notes. So I didn't end up using this one here, which is charcoal. I did end up making a purple Katia beanie, and I donated that. Now, most people who were at the knit-a-thon weren't deciding to knit for the cause. They were deciding to knit for themselves and just have, you know, the vibes, if you will. And the vibes were immaculate. Like, the food just kept coming all day. There was a sandwich platter, there were hot sausage rolls, there were gluten-free options, vegan options. I hoed down on quite a bit of celery and hummus because cool, I enjoy that. Potato chips. So there were plenty of options. And so despite the fact that I packed my lunch, I say packed my lunch, I went to the supermarket on the way there because I often do worry about things. And the first 3 of us were there, all had a coconut allergy, and one of them had a severe coconut allergy who goes into anaphylaxis shock if there's coconut airborne, like in perfumes and stuff. So that was interesting. It was nice to be around people who understood. And so everything was very low allergen. There were no nuts, there were no, yeah, so that was cool. The pack, it was worth signing up for the pack just because that way I knew that I could sit there and knit something that they provided that they needed. Yeah, I probably could have knit a different beanie and made stripes on it, or I could have cranked out a couple of children's items. As soon as I finished the beanie, I started working on some baby socks. But again, I'm still reworking my baby sock pattern. So my baby sock, I got this far in my baby sock, and I've decided that it's probably more like a child's sock at this size. So I'm tempted to just pull the needles out of this one and let it go. I'll probably put it onto stitch holders and come back to it and think about it as a child sock later on. But I don't like the mixture of the band with the 2x2 rib on this size. Anyway, so that's what I also got up to before I left. Now, I did also win one of the prizes. I think I won the prize because I was knitting for the cause and you had sponsorships and stuff like that. So I made a donation because I didn't have time to organise sponsorships. It's been a busy month. Well, actually, it was busy. I signed up for the Knit-a-thon a few days before my accident that got me concussed. So, yeah. So, what I won was this sock pack. This is from Marmalade Yarn Co. I actually got a choice of a few different items, and one was a meal voucher, and one was this, that, the other thing. But I obviously went for this because it's kind of pink and orange, and it's Socktober. So, of course, I was going to go with this. James down at Joy of Yarn in Greytown. I was planning on going there in the afternoon and joining him because he was matching dollar for dollar every donation made in store. So I thought that was a really cool initiative as well. So I'd be interested to know how many people were there. Now, the people who were at my event, one was making the Stephen West mystery shawl. Another one was working on scarves and booties. Another one was working on a granny square blanket. There was the woman doing pumpkins on a knitting machine, and there were some children, which was cute. One of the children was very excited to be working with some chenille yarn, and I forget what the other lady was working on. Oh, and there was another woman who was working on a cardigan for a baby. So there was quite a range of different things happening. And it was interesting to sit there and see that, yeah, people were doing crochet. I didn't need to leave all my crochet behind. That I could have taken my actual knitting projects rather than knitting for the cause. But I decided I wanted to knit for a cause because it was why I signed up in the first place. Did I have a good time? Yes, I had a bloody amazing time. Now, it turns out that a while ago they organised a craft fair. So at some point they're going to have another craft fair. And I figure I may as well enter in their craft fair and see what I can do. Because everything that was raised is going towards stuff like fixing the lock on the broken shed, upgrading the sprinkler system. What was the other thing that they talked about? Basically, they're all the maintenance things that a building needs when you've got a lot of community groups coming through it. It was also lovely talking to them about their other community initiatives from the Red Badge of Courage, which was all about period products and that sort of thing, so that they're all supplied free for anyone in need. There were other ones about, there's a course coming up on people who organise volunteers for large events and what you need to keep in mind, and yeah, the legal requirements and stuff like that. So there's a whole stack of things that were really interesting to see that were going on, and I'm just really proud of everybody involved. So that was it. That was my experience at the Knit-a-thon. I'm sure there's a little bit of footage of me knitting the hat. I will put in a picture of the hat. I can't remember if I took a photo of it. I think I took a photo of the hat. It's not a very interesting looking hat, but I made the hat. I will link Wool on Wheels down below. And yeah, it was a great time. I will sign up for the next one in a heartbeat. Will I knit for the cause next time? Who knows? Who knows? Probably. What I might do next time is take a knitting project along and knit for the cause, and then just do whatever project they supply and then do my own stuff. And probably shut up more. Because people who are concussed probably shouldn't sit there and talk when they could be sitting there and listening. Yeah. In the meantime, YouTube thinks you're going to like this video up here. I will link the other yarn-based events that I've been to down over here. And if you want to stick around and see what other crazy shenanigans that I get up to, there'll be a subscribe button up the top. In the meantime, I will catch you later. Bye!